Get on your grind, 𝙲𝙀𝙺𝚃.
I gave them something to believe in, you know they ain't believe it. Tried to show them the vision, they ain't zoom in to see it. Told them about these heights, they said it's too high to reach it. And that had me feeling like Mike, I told them you gotta beat it. See, it's diamonds in your soul, but you gotta dig a lot deeper. See, all of our minds been exposed, but I've been changing the frequency. Sending my prayers and affirmations, way past where them eagles be. What I learned in my returns is not all things you need to see. You gotta feel it, the negative talk, the negative thoughts, and you gotta kill it. I know that it's hard, and then it leaves scars, and then ain't appealing, but you gotta heal it. There's lessons in every little layer, but you gotta peel it. Cause the best way to get some air is removing your ceiling. Look, trust me, I know cause I did it. Hit rock bottom, looked around like damn, what the fuck I do with it? I remember the levels and picked up my shovel and I started digging and digging and digging until I got dizzy. And trust me, the spirit been busy. I'm back and I'm paid and I'm busy, so feel like I'm acting the way that you get it. This is for back in the day when they just shit it. I gave them something to believe in, you know they ain't believe it. Tried to show them the vision, they ain't zoom in to see it. Told them about these heights, they said it's too high to reach it. And that had me feeling like Mike, I told them you gotta beat it.
Yes, 𝙲𝙾𝙼𝙺𝙃, peace, love, and light. It's the God, Lord Christos, the living survival manual, and I'm back with another download straight from the cosmos. Remember, someone has to see your greatness. Why not start with yourself? Stay blessed, always finesse. Definitely trust the Most High's process, the true keys to success. Now dig, the vibes over here, y'all already know at SYG Studios are to motivate, educate, and enlighten our people on new ways to invest in themselves. Everything is high level, you heard? What we think, what we say, how we feel, and definitely how we act. But before we even get into the energy tonight, take the time to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also scan the QR code. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the top right corner. Go ahead and get that QR code. Scan that QR code, man. That's how you go ahead and engage with the community via our Discord, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, so much more. We love engagement over here and understand that it takes a village to push the trend, not just one individual. So the support is much appreciated. Our aim is not to only grow the brand, but reach at least 500,000 plus. Yes, I said 500,000 plus individuals who want, need, and are seeking the knowledge to live a more abundant life. I got big goals over here 2023. You hear it? It's God's year. Now, with all the information being provided, I do want to send out a quick disclaimer. Please take the time to do your own research. It's very vital. My content is intended to be used for motivational purposes only. Always do your own analysis based on your own personal circumstances. Definitely seek counsel with the other professionals and verify information independently in connection with any investments made based on any information received from this show. You heard? Now, y'all already know the energy. Let's get into our God body energy. You heard? Inhale. Exhale. See your greatness. Now let's get into the vibe. All right. Today, man, episode 3, mind power. I wanted to continue to go along the path of, just deciphering the mind and how it actually plays a huge part in producing and manifesting, particular thoughts or things that we want to produce in this world, right? Last week or the week before last, episode 2, I talked about, having richer thoughts, right? And how these thoughts contribute or are passed down from God, passed down into our conscious mind, then passed down into our subconscious mind. And then that produces, an action or the results that we not all the time typically desire, but, just with the power of how energy operates, how it's a part of the law of the universe and things of that nature. What you get, what you give out. we just dove deep in how it's very, very important to, rearrange those particular thoughts to, try to produce more positive thoughts and things of that nature so that we can produce more positive results. Today, I wanted to, just again, keep tapping in on that perspective on how, our mind is very key and very vital in ensuring that, our spirit is taken care of, ensuring that our body is taken care of, and just all aspects of, this experience that we're going through. I've learned just through my different experiences and through different things that I've read, and I'm gonna get into a few of those texts tonight as well, that the mind is, in my opinion, one of the, if not the most powerful power that we have in this world, in this atmosphere, in this universe. But it's definitely top three, you know what I'm saying, in creating whatever type of world that we want to create for ourselves. I've been, doing a lot of research again, listening to different self-help authors like Bob Proctor, Billy Carson, even if you want to dive esoterically, Bobby Hemmett, different teachers like Dr. John Henrik Clark, just so many different individuals. And then not only just listening to, the words of wisdom that they're giving, but actually putting the work in figuring out or accepting or rejecting whether or not these practices or these teachings will help me, because I feel like as though I'm a teacher and I'm a healer in my own way. That's why I got into the mental health field, right? And I don't want to give anybody incorrect information. So I always try to ensure that I do my own due diligence first before, I either teach on this topic or, that people, go along the journey of trying to figure out if this practice or if this knowledge resonates with them. So today, I wanted to talk about mind power. And how important. So let's do a recap. I'm gonna go to the board right quick. Let's do a recap, right? On last episode. Actually, should I write on the board or should I show you guys on my iPad? I'm gonna actually do this. I'm gonna actually pull up this on my iPad instead. Let's go here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this on my iPad instead. And for those who are up here, let me know that you can see. Let me know that you can see. I'm gonna go ahead and give that access. There we go. There we go. All right. So now you guys should be able to see. I hope it's not moving too slow. Now you guys should be able to see my iPad. All right. All right. So last week we talked about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So I'm gonna make that diagram up here again. Right. This is the mind. This is the body. Right. Now the mind has two parts. The conscious. So you're gonna just put con and we're gonna put the sub. Right. And for those who are on IG, I'm gonna show y'all. This is what we talked about. So the top part is the mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and then the bottom part is your body, right? So as we had talked about, the conscious mind is what we call the educated mind, right? It's the part of the mind that gets in all the thoughts that we are essentially supposed to get from quote unquote God, or what some people might call a higher energy, a higher source, things of that nature. Even if you don't believe in God and things of that nature, we have to believe in some type of higher power, meaning that for those who are up here right now, you have came from something. You have come from something, whether it's your parents, you feel what I'm saying? You have come from something. So that is essentially what certain people can, in this description, just think of as a God, or just give it that label. So what I said is the conscious mind is quote unquote what we call our educated mind, or it's the first mind that receives all of the thoughts from God. So we're gonna write God up here. right? And we're going to have these arrows that symbolize, right, different types of thoughts that God wants to send, but sometimes it gets interrupted, right? So whether he wants to send you, thoughts of love, whether he wants to send you thoughts of, just motivational, let's go motivational, motive. Whether he wants to send you thoughts of, righteousness, right? Righteous, right. Uh-oh. All right, y'all know what I mean right there, righteousness, right? What ends up happening is a lot of the times people or those who don't understand the mind, they don't take the time to understand that the conscious mind is the only mind that has the ability, and put arrow, to accept or reject the thoughts, right? It's the only part of our mind that has the ability to accept or reject thoughts, right? So what that means is when God is trying to pour thoughts into you or into your spirit or into your body so that you can manifest the things that you want into your life, right? Or if you're trying to pour energy into you so that you can manifest the things that you want in life, what tends to happen based off of, what we've experienced in life, whether it's like trauma, other people's experiences, social media, what tends to happen is those distractions pretty much cut off or mess with the frequency of God and gives us a different frequency that allows distractions to come into our thoughts. So now instead of us having thoughts of love and motivation and righteousness and joy and strength, we have all of these outside entities or outside energy or outside thoughts that is messing up the what's the word I'm looking for? Messing up the transmission, right? So what ends up happening is, say for instance, God is your parent, right? God's your parent. Your parent is trying to give you, it has been giving you whatever it knows. So say we are people that have grown in a generational trauma of, being depressed or feeling anxiety or growing up in, low poverty environments and things of that nature. Your God or your parent can only teach you or provide to you what it knows, especially if it is not even or if he or she is not even connected to the source in themselves. So what ends up happening is that becomes a generational thing of, the parents or guardians or whoever this person is, pouring only what they know into their child, right? So we're supposed to receive the thoughts of God or good thoughts or positive thoughts from my parents, but their transmission that they're supposed to be receiving from God has been so distraught and messed up from what they learn and what their parents learn and what their parents learn. It just becomes an ongoing thing, and people don't even go deep into the biology of it or the epigenetic of it to see that this goes even deeper than just what goes into your brain or whatever you feed yourself. Like your cells, like the cells in your body even hold memory. Like I believe they're stating that one cell can hold like a billion what's the word, like terabytes or whatever of like storage in like one piece of cell. So like generational memory too. For instance, you can be experiencing things that have happened thousands or hundreds of years ago, all based off of people or that individual or the individuals that came before them not taking the time to try to rid themselves of all of those bad experiences that they have dealt with or are still dealing with, so that constantly gets just pushed and pushed and pushed down into the conscious mind. Now the subconscious mind, which is what I call the childlike mind, right? That mind has no ability to accept or reject. It just has to do. So whatever the parent mind or the conscious mind sends down into that subconscious mind, the subconscious mind then has to take all of that information and send that down to the body. Now the body is doing whatever that subconscious mind is telling it to do. producing the results. So you would say that any thought that you have in your mind or that is being generated in the conscious mind first, right? That then gets trickled down to the kids, right? And whatever the kids, take on from that, being that they essentially, when you're raising them, they don't really have the ability to have that discernment, or they don't have the ability to understand in certain aspects and things of that nature. So it has no choice but to trust what that conscious mind is saying to it, therefore pushing that energy or those emotions or those feelings down into the body, and now the body is operating on that level or on that frequency. That's why a lot of times when individuals are constantly feeling like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm depressed, you're constantly pouring that thought into your mind. Now the subconscious mind is taking on that energy, and now on the outside, your body is feeling tired. You know what I'm saying? You're not able to produce creatively as you would like to. You're always, stuck on social media, like chasing a dream that you can actually obtain, but you feel as though you're not even worthy of it because of the root thing of you not being able to reprogram your mind or your paradigm to think more positive thoughts so that you can have more positive results. So that was what we talked about. I know that was a lot. But that is what we essentially talked about last week. Now, this week, I want to talk about what I said is mind power. Let me erase this right quick. I'm gonna erase. Oh, my bad. So I'm gonna erase this right quick. I'm gonna erase this. So now we're gonna talk about mind power, and maybe I should put it on the board too for the people on IG to be able to see. I'm gonna put it on the board too for people on IG to be able to see. So today we're gonna talk about, this is the mind again. Mind power. This is the body. Bam, 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 bam. So we got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Subcon. Now we're going to talk about the different frequencies, right? So we got the negative frequency and the positive frequency. Now, I like, or what a lot of individuals that I've studied would like to say, I'm going to write it on the iPad, negative, positive. So what a lot of self-help authors, a lot of mentors, a lot of books that I've read, a lot of, even me just going through the experiences of, trying to change my thoughts in really basking in what I'm thinking, I've realized that a lot of what we go through is a result of what we pour into ourselves, right? They always say, watch what you eat. And eating doesn't necessarily just entail what you are feeding your physical form. How do you feed your spirit? How do you actually feed your mind? Or how do you actually allow the universal mind to feed you, right? I was talking to a brother of mine today, my homie, man, childhood friend, and I was trying to get him to understand the difference in us all, yes, as one whole, planet of people being connected, but we are still on different polar opposites. You know what I'm saying? You know how we have negative and we have positive. Well, that's essentially how certain things are operating within this world as well. But it starts within the mind first. It doesn't necessarily start with, like, in my opinion, the color of your skin. There, even though, certain people like to believe that, the color of your skin determines whether or not you are a negative or positive person. However, when you grow up in a certain way, when you are constantly being exposed of certain things, social media, propaganda on the news, other people's opinions, just a multitude of different things, you start to take on those those practices or those beliefs as your own. So negative thoughts. What are negative thoughts? Negative thoughts are what they call, or what we call, ignorance. put it up here. Negative thoughts is ignorance, right? And what is ignorance? Ignorance is only the in definition not knowing or being unaware of, right? Then you have knowledge, which is what we call positive thoughts, being able to be aware. Knowledge, all right, being aware. Now, when we have an ignorant mind, right? When we have an ignorant mind, get this off. Where are we at? Bring this down. 1 second. Now, when we have an ignorant mind, from what I've experienced, an ignorant mind produces a lot of ignorant things, right? And what do I mean by ignorant things? An ignorant mind usually produces things like worry, right? Put worry here, doubt, right? And a knowledgeable mind, in my experience, produces more understanding, right? Or even growth. Now, that's like a feeling, or that's a like worrying a lot, you're doubting yourself a lot, and things of that nature. If we're speaking on the ignorant side, so we got worry and doubt. If you're worrying a lot and you're doubting yourself a lot in your mind, how does that manifest in the physical form, right? How does the subconscious mind send that down to the body for it to produce results in the physical form? What that actually ends up turning into inside the subconscious mind, worry and doubt, turns into fear. Fear, right? We got fear. Worry about something, doubting yourself, that turns into fear, people. Having fearing that you aren't able to achieve what you're trying to achieve, whether it's like a job, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a man or a woman that you have had a very strong liking to over the past 3 months, right? Or whether it's a new job that you're trying to take on. I can be honest and say that there are instances where I battle with an ignorant mind, right? And worrying and doubting myself because I'm challenging myself to take on something new. I don't want anyone to ever think that, as we go through this life experience, right, having a positive mind more so all the time than you do a negative mind doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have negative thoughts. No, we're human. We go through certain things in life that, that we, in my opinion, sometimes cannot control, that produces specific things or specific energy around us. But it's up to us to be strong enough to either handle it or let it handle us. Right? So if you have a lot of worry and doubt and you're just ignorant, you're not knowledgeable of certain things, it's going to produce that fear. It's going to produce that, oh, I don't know if I can, right? So how does that manifest into the body? It manifests, and I'm going to put body right here. It manifests into the body by way of anxiety. Got anxiety here. It manifests in the body by way of depression. And what is depression? What is depression? Depression is nothing more than suppressed anxiety. That anxiety. Depression. Again, anxiety is nothing more than suppressed depression. Or anxiety is when depression is when you're suppressing the anxiety. So you're trying to suppress that feeling of fear and things of that nature. You're trying to suppress that worry and that doubt, and that creates depression because you're constantly taking the road of not dealing with that issue and pushing it down lower and lower into yourself. But remember, people, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's just transferable. So it's going to get transferred into a different form, some way, somehow. Doesn't matter how much you think within your mind that is it's gone, it's going to manifest in it manifests itself in some way, somehow, some shape or form, right? So how does it also manifest itself with this anxiety and depression? You got dis-ease, or what we call disease, right? Now your body's breaking down. Now you don't have the ability to physically do anything because you're so depressed. You're suppressing that anxiety. You're just living in that fear. You're living in that doubt. And now you're going through months and months on end, whether you're not eating, not having the motivation to get out of bed, not having the motivation to take on new skills and things of that nature, constantly pouring in that negative information that outside entity like a family member or a friend may have been giving you, social media, making you feel like you're unaccepted in the world because you're not at this level like how everyone else is. Like, it's so much. It's so much. I get it, but you do have the power to change that. And how do you have the power to change that and not let dis-ease lead into disintegration? Disintegration, right? Disintegration or death. How do you do that? You got to get knowledge. You got to get knowledge. You have to start thinking within your mind like, yo, it has to be a better way. I know that there's a better way. I don't have to live like this in whatever fashion that you are living like. If you are okay with how you are living, this message isn't for you. But this is for people that want to continue to grow in all aspects of their life, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, you know what I'm saying, economically, so many different ways. Because that's what we, in my opinion, are here to do. You're here to continue to learn. We're here to continue to evolve. We're here to continue to grow, experience, have fun, right? But a lot of people are living in this negative or ignorant side and not experiencing the positive, where they get knowledge and understanding and growth. And how do you get that knowledge, understanding, and growth? Do the things like I do. You got to study. You got to study. This will give you understanding and growth. You got to study. That's literally one of the only ways that you'll ever really be able to truly get that understanding or that knowledge. Because wherever you are, there is someone that was once there. I don't care who you are. Where you are right now, there was someone that was once there. And guess what they did? They made a constructive choice to either live in ignorance or to start living in knowledge. Because we all have a choice. We all have a chance and a choice. Someone once has told, an individual like, yo, you can do better if you want to. I just know God works that way. He and or she is going to send a messenger your way or a message your way. Even just like how I'm up here expressing and sharing this energy with you right now, because I was once someone who lived in an ignorant space of worry and fear and doubt and anxiety and depression. But now, once I've gained knowledge of myself and understanding of myself, and I started going through the growing process, and I started seeing that, yo, if I would have to just try to, just really listen and sit down and study, the things or the people or that I want it to be like, or where I want it to be within myself, I would have been already producing, more life or more well-being. Because that's what that turns into, well-being. Put that over here. That's what having more knowledge and understanding and growth turns into. It turns into well-being within your body. You start taking care of yourself more. You start praying or meditating more. You start eating healthier, right? And that starts producing healthier results in your life. It's the law of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the laws that we have to abide by within this physical realm, for those who have a spirit and who have a soul, and can feel. There are laws outside of that. We need to get out of just thinking that our body controls everything. There's something within us that controls the body, and that is the mind and the spirit. Well-being leads into more expression. You're able to express yourself more. Expression. And if you don't believe me, use me as an example. I was once not able to express myself in the fashion that I'm expressing myself in right now. Having thoughts of like, if are people going to listen? You know what I'm saying? I look crazy recording myself on camera. But then you get to a point where like that doesn't matter because it's bigger than just me. This is for that somebody that might see this video 10 years, 20 years, 50 years from now that needs motivation. This is for my children when I have them, that if they need to utilize something or go back on something to get them through a hard time, they can go look at a YouTube video or a podcast that their daddy did and hear his voice. You know what I'm saying? That's how you kind of, in a sense, immortalize yourself forever. You give back in this type of fashion or in whatever fashion that you can. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, again, on social media. It can be just stopping or talking to a random person and speaking life into them, giving them words of wisdom, giving them advice of how you got to where you are or where you are. Right? Then you got acceleration. Now you're moving. Now you're moving. With that knowledge, you get acceleration, man. I'm telling you. Acceleration. With that knowledge, you start getting acceleration. You start moving. You start wanting to do more things. You start wanting to be more places. You start wanting to be seen more. You feel what I'm saying? You start wanting to build more things, being more creative. You're truly letting God do what it needs to do. Be creative because, again, we are all collectively God. But we're experiencing what he wants or what she wants us to experience in different ways. This physical form is just a vessel, but there's energy that lies within us that wasn't always our own. It came from somewhere. It came from something. Whether you want to believe it came from a Big Bang theory or whether you want to believe it came from an actual entity, it came from somewhere beyond yourself. Right? Now, with that expression, that well-being and that acceleration on the knowledge side, now that also leads to being at ease. At ease, not being at a dis-ease or having a disease. Because that's all it is. That's all dis-ease is. It's stressing the body. Your blood's not flowing properly. Your organs not flowing properly. Your mind not flowing properly. The electricity that lives within you is not flowing properly. I've learned that wherever stagnant energy lies, that is where death lies. Because if energy can't flow properly, it's just staying still. It's not producing any fruit anywhere. It's not healing anything. It's just stuck. When has anyone ever seen energy that it isn't, being exhausted in different avenues help something? I don't know. Whether you want to look in that energy as a form of depression, I've never seen depression help somebody, if that makes sense. Now, if you want to think high level in the sense of me going through depression and now that I'm on the knowledgeable side, seeing how that depression was hurting me, that's different, I guess. But I've never truthfully seen depression reach out a helping hand and be like, let me help you. It's always been a downer for me, from what I know of it. And finally, after the at ease, again, you got the creation. You got creation. You're creating things. Again, this is the body. You're producing results. You're producing results. You're creating things. Right? You're thinking beyond yourself. Let me get back to full screen. You're beyond yourself. You feel me? I know that was a lot, but it's very important, right? And you don't have to just take my word for it. I have a few texts here that I would like to read as well that even state the same thing. I'm gonna read a few scriptures, and the reason I printed out scriptures is because I had to understand that I have to meet certain people where they are. A lot of us have been programmed to believe everything in the Bible, right? Literally, verbatim. Some of us don't even understand that some of these stories or these books, because it's not just one book in the Bible, it's multiple books, that they are allegorical or metaphorical for something. Wherever a lie lives, there has to be a truth somewhere in there. That's also the law of the universe. You can't just have a world full of lies. It's imbalance. There's no balance there. For there to be balance, there has to be polar opposites. You have to have a good and a negative. You have to have an up and a down. You have to have lies and truths. Because if we didn't, a lot of us wouldn't really be able to, understand a lot of things. This is how God is able to communicate through this form. Because when you really get tapped in, you'll understand that none of that good and bad and positive and negative truly exists. It's all energy. But when communicating on this plane to certain people that can understand it, we have to kind of communicate it in this way. So I pulled a few scriptures, right? It was like 100 Bible scriptures about thoughts in the mind. And we're going to start with Romans 12:2, right? Very powerful. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And read that again, Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Again, man, that mind. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is any worthy of praise, think about these things. I'm going to say that again because that's powerful. And that's the key word. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Doesn't say eat these things. It doesn't say, ponder. Well, I guess ponder and think are the same. It doesn't say, worry about these things. It doesn't say doubt these things, right? It says to think about them. Think about these things. And from my perspective, having true and honor and pure thoughts and lovely thoughts and commendable thoughts and excellent thoughts and praising the Most High, that's living on the side of knowledge. That sounds like living in the space of well-being, expressing myself positively, being able to create and understand and grow. Isaiah 26:3. You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Right? What's another? 2 Corinthians 10:3-6. For though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ, being ready to punish every disobedience when your obedience is complete. Now, people in the faith, they like to correlate Jesus with Christ. They say Jesus Christ, right? But a lot of people don't understand Christ isn't like his last name or anything of that nature. Christ was I would consider a label or a title pertaining to something, right? And that particular something was pertaining to something within us, within every one of us. What that Christ is your consciousness, your thoughts, because that's all that he was ever trying to teach, was us changing our thoughts and the way we think of things and how we minded our business in our mind, so that we can go out here and produce things. That's why he was able to perform most of what he called the miracles that he was able to perform, because of the mindset that he had. He was able to control his mind. He was able to control his negative thoughts. You know how we think of the devil as this bad, negative person or thing or entity or energy? He was able to control that. That's why he said, devil, get behind me. I know what you're trying to bring to the front of me. I know what negative energy and what type of vibes you're trying to bring towards me. I ain't with it. I know I serve a higher source that wants me to help and to heal and to teach truth, to teach love, be commendable, be pure. That's all I was saying. But it all started up here in the mind, right? Philippians 4:9, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. The Lord is at hand. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer, or what I call meditation, and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Now, how do you send a request up to God? You can't just talk about it. How do you like, let's really talk about it. How do you really send a request to God? You just look up and just say, hey, God, you know, I want this and I want that. Like, I don't think it works like that. Say God was a university, right? Say God was a university and you was applying to that university. I'm pretty sure you had to have transcripts of the work that you put in high school before you sent in your application to be able to be accepted into that university. And even once you got accepted into that university, I'm pretty sure you had to go through steps as far as picking different classes to ensure that you were able to stay, or go to that university, whether particular courses, whether particular majors, right? And even after that, you had to go through many semesters and years of learning and studying and getting knowledge before you were able to be approved of knowing things or getting your diploma or your certificate of passing. Like there was a process. So if I'm sending a request to God, I can't just talk about it. There's action that has to be behind it as well. What is that action? That's what certain people call praying. That's what certain people call meditating. That's what certain people call, you know what, I'm going to try to live healthier so that I can not be so consumed by the things that are on the outside of me, but try to focus more on what's on the inside of me, because I know that what's inside of me controls what's on the outside of me. Everything that's on the outside of us has been created from a thought or a mindset that was once on the inside of us. The phone didn't make us. We made the phone. But how did we make the phone? Because we had the thought of, hey, I want to make a phone to where I can talk to someone that is thousands of miles away. A thought came first. A thought came first. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers, whatever will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ. Oh, I'm sorry. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is again, there it is. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Think. That's enough of those Bible verses. Now I'm gonna go over to another one. This is called the 𝙲𝙾𝙼𝙃. This was written by what they call themselves the three initiates. They taught about like different hermetic philosophies, right? they talk more so on the esoteric or energetic side of things rather than just the physical, right? And the main one was what I wanted to talk about, which is these 7 Hermetic principles. These 7 Hermetic principles, and we're going to talk about the first one today. And y'all let me know if I should do like a reading. You know what I'm saying? We all do like a group reading on this and tap into what a lot of this is saying for those who want to. You feel me? For those who want to. So I'm going over the principle of mentalism, right? I'm gonna go over the principle of mentalism. So these 7 principles will be discussed and explained as we process through these lessons. A short explanation of each, however, may as well be given at this point. Number 1, principle of mentalism. The all is mind, the universe is mental. Y'all just take a mental note of that quote and let me know what y'all think or how y'all feel about it. The all is mind, the universe is mental. This principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains that the all, which is the substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and experiences, which we know under the terms of the material universe, the phenomena of life, matter, energy, and in short, all is apparent to our material senses, is spirit, which in itself is unknowable and undeniable or undefinable, but which may be considered and thought of as a universal, infinite living mind. I'm going to read that again because it might be a little confusing. The principle of mentalism. This principle embodies the truth that all is mind. It explains that the all, which is the substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances, which we know under the terms of the universe or the material universe, the phenomena of life, matter, energy, and in short, all that is apparent to our material senses, is spirit, which is itself is unknowable and undefinable, but which may be considered and thought of as an universal, infinite living mind. You can't really see spirit. You can't see your spirit, but you can feel it. So that's why they explain it as unknowable or undefinable, because it's not essentially something that you can well well, what's been going on lately, you feel me? A lot of veils have been, lifted up, but that's for another day. But it essentially is something that's infinite. You can't, it's undefinable, it's unknowable. Like nobody truly knows where it comes from. Some of us, but it's universal. It also explains that all the phenomenal world or universe is simply a mental creation of the all. So like, if we even like to just cycle back to God or the Big Bang creating all of this, like it had to start from within itself first. It didn't explode. Or like if you think the Big Bang theory, it wasn't an explosion from inside itself, and then, or there wasn't an explosion from outside itself and then it creating something on the inside. It was an explosion from the inside and it created something on the outside. That's what a thought is. You get a thought in the inside and then you create that on the outside of yourself. That's a Big Bang. Where was I? It also explains that all the phenomenal world or universe is simply a mental creation of the all, subject to the laws of created things, and that the universe as a whole and in its parts or units has its existence in the mind of the all, in which mind we live and move and have our being. Let me read that again. It also explains that all the phenomenal world or universes is simply a mental creation of the all, subject to the laws of created things, and the universe as a whole and in parts or units has its existence in the mind of the all, in which mind we live and move and have our being. This principle, by establishing the mental nature of the universe, easily explains all of the varied mental and psychic phenomena that occupy such a large portion of the public attention. and which without such explanation are non-understandable and defy scientific treatment. An understanding of this great hermetic principle of mentalism enables the individual to readily grasp the laws of the mental universe and to apply the same to his or her well-being and advancement. The hermetic student is enabled to apply intelligently, right? Those intellectual factors again, intelligently, the great mental laws instead of using them in a haphazard manner. With the master key in his or her possession, the student may unlock the many doors of the mental and psychic temple of knowledge and enter the same freely and intelligently. This principle explains the true nature of energy, power, and matter, and why and how all these are subordinate to the mastery of mind. Again, this principle explains the true nature of energy, power, and matter, and why and how all these are subordinate to the mastery of mind. One of the old Hermetic masters wrote long ages ago, "He who grasps the truth of the mental nature of the universe is well advanced on the path of mastery." And these words are as true today as the time they were first written. Without this mastery key, mastery is impossible. Without this mastery key, again, mastery is impossible. And the student knocks in vain at the many doors of the temple. That's deep, man. Principle of mentalism. Y'all should research that. What the principle of mentalism really is. Y'all should research that because, again, everything starts inside of us. Inside of us. Let me go to another book. Let me see. Man, I want to make sure I give you the right one. All right. This is from the Emerald Tablets, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson, right? A beginner's guide. And again, he's a self-help author, but he's bigger than that. You know, he's an entrepreneur, he's a philanthropist, he's a teacher, very, very knowledgeable about, you know, the ancient about ancient Egypt and the different practices that they utilized, you know, in ancient Kemet before it was named Egypt, and how they even taught about the power of the mind way before the Bible was even written. Because those stories that we read in the Bible, they come from somewhere. They come from something, and it didn't all start with Jesus. You feel what I'm saying? It didn't all start with it started before Moses and all of them. Like, there were people receiving word or messages from God before all of them, before the Bible was written. So don't let these people fool you. You heard? All right, so this one says, once said they unto me, O man, willest thou gain wisdom? Seek for it in the heart of the flame. Willest thou gain knowledge of power? Seek ye it in the heart of the flame. Willest be one with the heart of the flame? Seek then within thine own hidden flame. I'm gonna just read that little short passage because that's very powerful. And I know it's talking like we, you know, in some other country, things of that nature, thee and thou'st and wowst. Once said they unto me, O man, willest thou gain wisdom? Seek for it in the heart of the flame. Willest thou gain knowledge of power? Seek ye it in the heart of the flame. Willest be one with the heart of the flame? Seek then within thine own hidden flame. It's all telling you to think within. Seek within first. Everything starts within you first, and then it's produced on the outside of you. So being that we're talking about the mind, anything that you are thinking of right now, that is going to be produced on the outside of you in some way, shape, or form. If you constantly are basking in and tuning into hip hop, loving hip hop, Hollywood Unlocked, the Shade Room. Your life is gonna be a living Shade Room. Your life is gonna be a living Hollywood Unlocked, because that's what you are investing your mind into. But if you start investing your mind into, financial literacy, business literacy, spiritual health, you know what I'm saying, mental health, you feel what I'm saying? All those different types of positive things, your life will produce, or your life or your body would take you towards those things and act towards those things, so that you can have a better well-being, so that you can create more, so that you can express yourself more and not be in anxiety or depression or fear or doubt. It all just goes hand in hand, fam. It all goes hand in hand. And again, that's the Emerald Tablets. Y'all should definitely check this out. And also his book, Woke Doesn't Mean Broke, by Billy Carson. It has a lot of keys and a lot of gems on how we can elevate ourselves. And again, I like to look towards teachers or guiders that are in a position I would like to be in. Now, would I like to be just like them? No, but I would like to learn from them so that I can apply that to my own life and how I need to apply it. You feel what I'm saying? Like my boy Yoda say, do or do not. There is no try for me. I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. And what I want to do is I want to produce generational wealth. I want to produce generational health. I want to break generational patterns, or what people call generational curses. You feel what I'm saying? I want to be able to create in any form or fashion that I am able to. I love technology. I love graphic design. I like making clothes. I like, teaching people. Like, I want to be able to stay on that side of things and constantly operate in that energy. And that's not to say that I won't experience things that try to bring my energy down. However, I know through experience, I know through knowledge that I will and I can overcome those things. It's all in how I maneuver and I wake up on a daily basis to work towards that. There's things, or there are people that, and you guys have heard this before, that you do something long enough, it becomes a part of you. You work out long enough, you become a bodybuilder. You feel me? You become stronger. You feel me? You start eating bad long enough, you become obese. You become unhealthy. Same applies to any and everything that we, put our energy and our life into. Same thing applies, man. Go ahead, stop sharing this right quick. Stop sharing. But yeah, man, that's just real. That's the realness of it. This is what I'm learning on a daily basis. This is where I'm pouring my energy into on a daily basis, is healing the mind, or healing the minds of those who want their mind to be healed. And if you feel as though you don't need or want your mind to be healed, this message ain't for you. You feel what I'm saying? But this is for the people that are going through particular things that are keeping them from seeing their greatness on a daily basis, keeping them from achieving their goals. You feel what I'm saying? Let me get this right. That was deep. That was really good, man. I'm talked out. I'm all talked out. You feel me? Like, I feel like, I've expressed, or I've explained the power of the mind enough. You feel me? For those who have gained something from tonight, continue to tap in every Sunday, 5 p.m. You feel me? We go in and get at it, because this is something that I feel as though is needed. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. This is something that's needed, fam. This is something that's needed. I never, and I'm looking at me. I'm now realizing that I never changed my name. Jufrenora no more, Lord Christopher, Lord Christos. But that's key, man. That's key. That's key. So we'll be continuing on this topic. I feel like this is my lane. This is my wave. Talking to individuals about different ways that they can, hear their life, or obtain whatever they're trying to obtain, just by starting with something that I don't want to say is so simple, but with just the first step, and that's with understanding your mind, going through the process of reprogramming your mind, putting different paradigms or programs within there so that you can start moving towards a direction that you truthfully want to go to or want to go towards to. Before I get out of here though, I do want to do a few plugs. If you are in the Richmond, Virginia area, I would definitely recommend that you guys tap in to the Black of the Berry, the Sweeter the Juice, here in Richmond. Let me actually, I got their card. So I got their card right here. Black of the Berry Juice Bar. I don't know if y'all can see that contact info. Am I able to flip this camera so that it can mirror? But y'all let me know. Yeah, it's better up here. So this is the Black of the Berry Juice Bar out here in Richmond, Virginia. They just had their grand opening Saturday. That's the owner right there, Pop. You heard? I told him I was going to promote, the brand on my podcast. I definitely went there on the grand opening, and I had a great time. They have a few like really fresh juices that I enjoy. Of course, I enjoyed the Black of the Berry that had chai seeds, it had coconut water, blackberry juice, and pineapple juice. My wife, she had something called the liquid carrot. It had carrots, I think carrots, pineapples. I can't remember all of them, but I do definitely recommend that. Again, if you definitely pass through the Richmond, Virginia area, or you live in the Richmond, Virginia area, tap in with Pop and the Black of the Berry Juice Bar crew. Other than that, I would again be streaming live every Sunday, 5 p.m. If I do miss a Sunday, that just means I'm prepping for something good to talk about. Continue to tap into the platform via that QR code or that link that's scrolling at the bottom. That's how you tap into all the platforms I'm on: my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitch, my shop, my merchandise. Book me for different services, whether it's like graphic designing. I just illustrated my first book. We're actually about to do a live workshop. It's a self-love workbook that I helped illustrate, which is the workshop will be in Richmond, Virginia to start off. We're going to do a live tour. We're going to start off in Richmond, then we're going to go to Atlanta and I believe New York. February 26th, it starts. I'm actually going to create the Eventbrite either tonight or tomorrow. And I'll start pushing that out on every episode after this. I'm gonna have the flyer and everything up here, so you guys, if you want to come in and learn a bit about self-love and how to maneuver through that journey, we'll have tickets for sale, so that you can come tap in with us. I will be actually at the event, be a vendor, and I'll have a live podcast set up so y'all can come in there and tell me what self-love means to you. This will be live, so if you want to be on camera or you are afraid to be on camera, like maybe this is the time for you to be able to get past those ignorant thoughts, you know what I'm saying, that worry or that doubt or that fear, and start stepping into more of that knowledgeable side, getting understanding, growing outside of yourself, expressing yourself more, being more creative, loving yourself more. You feel what I'm saying? Guiding yourself towards things that enjoy you just like you enjoy it. You feel me? So that's the vibe, man. That's the vibe. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show, episode 3, Mind Power. We're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna keep this thing churning. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get me to 1,000 subscribers, please, on TikTok, because I want to go live on TikTok as well. Continue to subscribe to my YouTube. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube as well, so I can start monetizing these videos. definitely tap into if you are a audio listener, I will be putting the audio form up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, so that you can revisit this at any time. But it'll also be, the live version on YouTube and on my Twitch, that you can go and replay if you need to replay as well. I might start putting these replays and like creating like a Patreon for members who really want to support this. Because I've learned that the more and more you just give people things for free, they don't cherish it as much. But for some reason, when you tap into them pockets, they cherish it that much more. But but that's later on down the line. I'll start having more courses and things of that nature that will help those again who want to be help expand their mind. If you want to tap into the Discord, let me know. Again, QR code link down below. But actually, no. I'm not. I'm gonna keep the Discord private because again, I don't want just anybody inside of the Discord. But if you are truly passionate and truly want to help, push yourself towards just being better, shoot me an email. syg.studios@outlook.com. I'll send you an invite because I do want to make this community a community of people that really want to not only again help themselves, but help the whole, help towards the mission, help supporting and building the brand. And this is going to be I'm gonna keep it private. I'm gonna keep that one private. And yeah, man, we're just gonna keep this thing moving, man. So remember, someone has to see your greatness. Why not start with yourself? Stay blessed, always finesse. Definitely trust the Most High's process, the true keys to success. And I love y'all, man. Peace. We out.